I'm really happy indeed to inaugurate Asian Summit on Education, Skill and which has been conducted along with DADAC India. Dr. Ashok Narayan, our Education Minister, ITBT, Sri E.G. Selgadu, A.H. Elginley, Domini, Seltown, and all the educationalists, education experts, policy makers, and my media friends. It is a pleasure to have you all, right from more than 12 countries and 20 states, to come together and find solutions to the educational challenges, as well as sit down and discuss the future of education globally. Things have changed a lot, and things will be changing a lot. Change is permanent. So does our human development. Technology has got its own effects. The culture has got its own effects. Hence, the method of teaching, method of learning, overall education policy has to undergo a change. And that is growth. But the change should be on the right direction. The change should be with a purpose and a change for a better education systems in the future. Now, at present, we are all here. We have come to this stage and status because of our education. The education system, what we have been taught, and what we have learned through our experience, we are here to think of the future of the education. Once a student, he is student for a life. The education doesn't end with a qualification degree or a post-graduation or a doctorate. Those are all few milestones. The journey is still a long way to go. Once a student, your lifetime a student. In our school colleges, we have got syllabus, teaching, timetable, then exams. But in life, it's other way around. First examination, then learning. In school, learning and examination. In life, it is every day some examination and then learning. To prepare for an examination and learning, you should have a very good foundation of learning and examination. Secondly, the children's mind has got highest capacity. The brain cells are yet to be occupied. There is a very big space for learning in the brains of the children. Therefore, we find children very inquisitive. Children are both innocent and inquisitive, which is very paradoxical. Innocent, inquisitive person can't be innocent. But however, it is only in the children we find innocence and inquisitiveness. A good teacher is one who can maintain both this quality in the student even after getting his qualified degree. That's innocence and inquisitiveness is the best teacher. It's very difficult. Therefore, all the educationalists should always keep it in mind, the science of thinking, the science of adaptability, science of learning, psychological science, mental strength, All these aspects should be the backhand of the education policy. How the learning process should start, how the natural learning will be. And every natural learning will teach something, but we have to add something to that also through our education system. So what to introduce at what level? How much to load? When to load a science, when to load a social aspects? And how much the mathematical aspects should be loaded. With the new technology and technical aids, there are two possibilities. One is a student can adapt it very easily and learn much more than what the other students and go ahead in life. But the other adverse thing is that student may learn the concept in a different form, which is just a visual form. Therefore, his analytical capacity might come down. We have been taught of so many science derivatives without any visual aspects of it. Therefore, we imagined, we thought, we tried to understand. That's how the whole thinking process will be there. But once the visuals come, our thought process goes down. Only the sight will teach us something which is taken for granted. Hence, these are all, what I am talking is a very, very fundamental, very, very much more fundamental human aspects. But it is very important to have all these aspects into our education system so that children should learn very, very simple, very, very easy. At the same time, they should enjoy learning. What we do as a policymaker, we think at our level and give syllabus to the children. We have to think at children level, then we have to give our policies. This is a very normal tendency for somebody to think at his level. That is a very, very immediately that happens. But you have to say, halt. This is what is my task is. My task is not to know what I know, but to know the children what they had to know. And higher education is much more challenging. Higher education is something where a transition period for any student from what basics he has learned to learn the technological aspect of it, and it is more of an application science. So it is still more a complicated curve he has to go through. Hence, the responsibility of higher education is much, much more there because a student will be very close to his profession, what he chooses. He'll be very close. So what he learns at the end of this graduation will have an impact on the student for selecting the future profession and to be successful in the profession. And you are all there, experts, to think. And you have already got a very big exhibition here where 4,000 solutions are there. That's what has been told to me. The solutions should be a real solutions. We find a lot of education apps. Every day new app is coming. But it is not making a very, very big impact both globally and locally. It is just another helping aid, something adding something which is already there. That's not the issue. The real solution should come out, as I already mentioned. That should be the seriousness of all technologies which are now presently there. In Karnataka, We are a most forward-looking state as far as education is concerned. Thanks to our forefather, they have built one of the finest education institutions. Before independence, Maharaja, during struggle of independence, post-independence, we got best of institutions, right from elementary education to the primary education, to the college education, technical education. Jnana and Dhyana were the two aspects when our forefathers brought in education in the state. Jnana is knowledge. Dhyana is meditation. Once again, a meditation will lead to a better thinking, will lead to the enlargement of the capacity of thinking. So, Dhyana will refill the thinking, Jnana, and Jnana will give you power to face the world. When Krishna preached Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, it was Jnana, knowledge, how to face the world. But behind the whole teaching is Dhyana. This aspect is not highlighted in many of them. This is the ethos of our Karnataka. Further, we have never been behind in technical education and technical advancement. That's why in Bangalore we have got 400 R&D centers, internationally niche R&D centers. And Bangalore is the only city to have 400 R&D centers in the world, not in India, in the world. That is the knowledge power we have. That's the capacity we have. Out of 500 fortune companies, 400 are placed here. That is because of the very strong education what we have given. And privatization of technical education, privatization of medical education was done first in Karnataka, then all over the India and other parts. So these are all our elders has given us a gift. We have to take it forward. My government has done some path-breaking decisions. We have decided to upgrade 7 of our engineering colleges into IIT. We call it KIT. My argument was, why my children should stand in front of a gate of some far-fetched IITs? Why not we create our own IIT for our children? And that's how we have started. In the next 5 years, we'll have 7 IIT-level technical institutions with international types. Secondly, we have decided to have very, very niche universities, specialized universities, and we are going to have 8 universities this year itself. And of course, privatization has come in a big way, and they are competing with each other for the best of their abilities. Ultimately, the center of all this should be a student. And another small concentric center in that should be a teacher. I was discussing with Atul and others, Gavin, that our education starts slowly and it ramps up. Then it goes to the peak. Similarly, the education should not end abruptly with a degree. It's like a wall. Even the education should end up tapering down. Ramp up is there, ramp down should be there slowly, so that it gels well into the society of jobs, society of knowledge, society culture. Slowly, smoothly it enters into those fields, and student doesn't feel the difference, student doesn't feel the shock, or that doesn't feel a cutoff should be slowly absorbed and able him to give the best of his ability in their own fields. So a ramp up is there, picking is there, and then ramp down should be there. So it is come from the society, it goes back to the society. It's like a water going back to the sea, going back to the reservoir. And once again it comes back here. This is a sustainable, renewable energy system. That's what I call. And I hope all your experiences, all your learning, all your hard work, what you have put in education, will be bearing very good fruits globally. I welcome all the foreign delegates who come from a long way, from Maldives, Bangladesh, Namibia, Cambodia, and so on and so forth, Brazil. I wish them all the best. Have a good stay. Enjoy and give your learning, take our learning. Let's go forward. Ultimately, all our goal is for the betterment of our next generation. The earlier generation has given us some values. We had to give some knowledge and values to the future generation. That's all this summit is about. That's what I thought. And I wish the exhibition also very success, so that people go back with the solutions. The tendency of people is to only highlight the problems and leave it. But here is one summit which is giving solution. I'm really very happy about it. Hence, I congratulate one of you and I welcome one of you. Give a best of your thoughts. And one more request for Atul is that, Aditya, is that you have got a lot of workshops, everything is to be done. Just don't leave at it. You make complete documentation of all the workshops and the results. And ultimately, you crystallize the whole summit and make it a Bangalore Declaration on education. And let this Bangalore Declaration on education be circulated all over the world, all over the education institutions, or all over the India, and even in Karnataka. And let everybody give a thought of all the experts what they have thought, and let us try to implement some of them very earnestly. And I assure you, my government is a part of this deliberation. My government will be part of the implementation also. Thank you.